So what I'm going to show you today is a missing assignment form that I've created that is linked with FormMule that as soon as the form is submitted, it kicks out an email automatically to the parent notifying them that their child is missing something, and then it also offers tutorial information in case the student needs extra help. So after you set your form, I have the student ID. I keep it really simple. Student ID, I make that required. The assignment name, make that required. The notes down here is really just for me in case I want to add some extra documentation if I feel that's necessary. So after you have your form, then what you do is go to responses, and you're going to click on this Google Sheets icon right here, and it opens up the data from that form. Okay, so you'll see when the form is sent, there's a timestamp on it, which is great. And it pulls in the information from the student ID, the assignment, and any notes that are typed in. The next thing that you will need to do is add in the column student name and the column parent email. And for right now, you are going to keep these blank. Okay. After that, what you would do is the plus sign that's over here, it's actually underneath this, the plus sign, you would click on that to add another sheet in this in this document. So I named mine student roster. Make sure there is no space, okay? Or you can just name it one word. The information here is, this is my dummy roster, so obviously it's fake. But anyway, you would get this information from your registrar or your counselor, and you would copy and paste the information in here. So what we're going to do next is we are going to use the VLOOKUP formula to reference and pull the information from the student roster into this form. So it's actually going to fill out this right here. So what we would do is we are going to click on, we're going to click on right here, the very first cell under student name. And we are going to type in this formula exactly as it appears. So it's equals VLOOKUP, open parentheses, B2, okay, which is referencing and matching the student ID number on both of these sheets, okay, comma, student roster, which is meaning it's referencing this sheet right here, exclamation point, money sign, A, colon, money sign, C. Now, what that means is it is referencing and pulling the information from column A, B, and C. And it is going to send it and build it right here. After the C, money sign C, you would type comma 2, comma 0, and then close your parentheses. Now, this 2 is meaning the second column here. So the student name, and the 0 means it has to be an exact match. Okay, so the ID number has to be an exact match. So if you type this in, then you will see, if you've after you use the form, you will see then the student name gets sent here, and you don't have to type it in. Now, the next thing you do, you want the parent email to come in as well, okay, from that form. So you would next click on the first cell under parent email, and you would type the formula again exactly as it appears, but now the only difference is in place of the 2 that was originally talking about that student name, you are referencing and pulling the data from column 3 from this sheet here. Okay, so this is the third column. So now it's just pulling in the email. So you'll see that here, that my email is pulled in. Now from here, you need to go to add-ons, and you need to open up or get the add-on FormMule. Okay, go ahead and open it or hit launch, depending on what your screen says. And this generally does take a little bit longer. It needs to think a little bit. Make sure this says form responses 1. And then for form trigger, you're going to select it to send on submit. That means as soon as the original form is sent, it is going to automatically kick out an email to the parent. You're going to click next. And then make sure this says 1 here, because we're only going to use one template, template 1, save template settings. And then after that, you're going to click next, edit templates. So now we're going to build our email that's going to be sent out to the parent. So on the to field, make sure that you click over here along this right side. You're going to click parent email. And once you click parent email, you'll see this right here pop up because it's going to pull that parent email from the form. Or actually from the sheet, excuse me. And then the next thing that I do under subject, I click on student name from over here on the right side. And the reason why I do that is for the parents that have multiple kids in the district, it just tells them which one we're referencing to. And then I put dash the subject, Texas history, and then missing assignment. And then from here, you type your email. I recommend keeping this pretty concise because it is limited. The text is limited. But usually I pull in, I say, hey, your child is missing a whatever assignment. I pull in some information from the grading policy, and then I am absolutely make sure that you put in some tutorials information too, so the parent knows how you can help their child if they feel that they would benefit from that. So once you have your form, then you hit preview and send all. And this takes a minute. Okay, so we're good. And then you're just going to X out of that. And now after you have your Form Mule set up, you need to make sure that you copy down these formulas. Otherwise, it's not going to work, or you won't get emails as the form is being sent out. So again, if you don't have the copy down formula, you're going to go to add-on, search for it, add it to Chrome. Okay. Go ahead and open your copy down once it's added. You're going to make sure that it is selected or set to on, and it will go and search formulas for you. And right here, you're going to make sure, and you'll see there's a formula in student name and there's a formula in parent email. So you're going to make sure you select these two because you want it to copy down for the entirety of this sheet. Excuse me. So next, what you're going to do after these are selected, you're going to click Save Settings. And once this is done, we are going to test out our form and make sure that it pops up. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we are going to go back to our form, and I'm going to click on the preview because we're going to test it out. And I'm going to use 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 as my email, or I'm sorry, my student ID. And then I'm going to say vocab quiz. They are missing their vocab quiz. And then I'm going to leave the notes blank for right now for the sake of time. I'm going to hit submit. And you'll notice that right here it's 10:57. So let's go back to our, see, it just popped up. The child just filled out the form at on 1/28 at 10:57. There's our ID, there's the vocab. I didn't fill out any notes. The student's name is Wonder Woman, and it's going to send an email to the parent listed. And this is just the copy down formula. So now what we would do is we're sitting here waiting to see this email get sent. So it should be momentarily that it comes through. And usually it takes about a minute or so to send the email. Well, I guess it would have helped if I had my email open. All right, there we go. So here's our email. It's for the student Wonder Woman, Texas history, missing assignment, and here's the email to the parent. So again, I use this generally for the parents that do respond well to emails. So in turn, this saves me a ton of time because y'all know how lengthy phone calls can get, but it saves a lot of time for those parents that actually do benefit from the phone call. And it's always better to over communicate than under communicate. So this is just a way of my extra support for my students to make sure they're getting the help that they need. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching.